Spoiler alert, proceed with caution if you have not watched the Season 3 finale and reunion specials of Love is Blind. If Season 2's catchphrase was Love is Blurry, Season 3's is definitely Love is Blindsided. Netflix gave a double dose of drama on Wednesday, dropping both the Wedding Pact finale episode and the reunion special for Season 3 of its hit reality dating show, Love is Blind. Of the 5 couples to get engaged this time around, 2 say yes at the altar and 1 rejection turned into a present-day romance. But there were definitely some bitter feelings on both sides as the former couples aired their grievances. Ed also spoke with several members of the cast after the filming wrapped, where they gave even more insight into what happened in their relationships. Here's where each couple stands. Brennan and Alexa. It was love at first shakshuka recipe for this sweet couple as they immediately fell for one another in the pods. The pair was an easy yes at the altar after a seemingly drama-free, whirlwind romance. It's hard listening to everyone else's struggle because we didn't have any, which was weird, Alexa says in the reunion, adding, but it was when we did move in together. I think it was dishes was our first fight. Alexa adds that she didn't mean to appear so standoffish on the series, saying that she didn't want her sarcasm to diminish the intensity of her romance with her now husband. I've never been loved the way he loved me, she says through tears. As for where they are now, Brennan tries to tease a potential baby, but Alexa shuts him down, saying, he does that all the time. I am not pregnant, yet. Alexa continued to gush to ET's Will Marfuji, saying of her marriage, a lot of people say it's the hardest thing that they've ever done. I think it's the easiest thing I've ever done. There was never really a question if we were gonna get married. He re-proposed every single day. He proposed to me leading up and it was always yes, there was never a question in my mind. Of her new husband, she adds, he really is just the greatest human being on earth. He's funny as FK. We make perfect sense. Cole and Zanab. This couple was fraught with problems from the beginning thanks to Cole's candid poolside conversation with Colleen about his attraction to her outside of the pods. It stung. I knew it existed, but obviously getting to see it firsthand was really something, Zanab says in the reunion episode. I think it just didn't get resolved because I didn't get an apology for a very long time. Cole disagrees with this assessment, saying he apologized to his former fiancée that very night. Zanab ultimately says no at the altar, shutting down Cole in a bold speech. I stand by everything I said, Zanab later told ET. Everything I said had a meaning, a reason why I said it. I didn't do it to humiliate him. It was more so just to be factual and hope that he would be a changed man for his next healthy relationship that I hope he has. Cole, however, initially did feel that Zanab intended to humiliate him, telling ET, I really just felt duped. I felt fooled because we hadn't spoken about those things. We had argued a lot, but she had never brought up the points that she made at the altar, which is why it just felt like it was more about her trying to hurt me than it was about just the no itself. He added that talking with his ex after the fact cleared that up, telling ET, since talking with her, it wasn't her intention at all. It was like how she was really feeling, so we worked through all that. This discussion plays out on the reunion special as the two were probably the most combative former pair, making allegations and shooting them down just as fast. The other women came to Zanab's defense, calling out Cole for his comments both on and off screen. I think so many things happened off camera. He's likable when you're watching it and just knowing what I know, I don't know, it's hard because I think Zay is just an incredible woman, Alexa says. Raven adds, I'll just say it was the tangerine thing. It was where he got a girl's number at the bachelor party and all of that. And they even talked about that. There was plenty of things. There was the body shaming that we saw on TV. The tangerine thing or the Cuties video became a major topic of discussion during the reunion. Zanab accuses Cole of destroying her self-esteem by making numerous comments about what she was eating. The pushing food away from me, asking if I am going to eat that, trying to get me to order a salad, she says. The daily comments about my face and my body were not used, and that's great because it really did protect you, and now you're denying it and now calling me a liar in front of all these people. That's typically what it is when you make up stories, Zay, Cole replies. Zanab goes on to claim that as a result of her ex's comments, I stopped eating. I was eating like a banana and a teaspoon of peanut butter just so I wouldn't pass out on the long days we were filming. Cole repeatedly denies making any such comments, and Zanab replies, "This is all working out in your favor because they did not use it. Please air it. If you have it, please air it," Cole begs, facing the camera. Well, the Netflix gods heard all the viewers' prayers, airing the scene in full at the end of the reunion special. In the clip, the former pair is seen chatting about their impending nuptials while standing in their kitchen, and Zanab pulls out a bowl and they start mutually snacking on cutie clementine oranges. "Are you about to eat 2 of those?" Cole asks Zanab. "Maybe, that's a serving," she replies. "You okay with that? You'd better save your appetite." "Oh," he replies. "I am talking like a big old supper tonight. I only had a banana and a scoop of peanut butter today," she replies. "You only had a banana today?" he asks. "Why?" "Oh, I could definitely tell you, but I probably shouldn't," she says. "Oh, are you getting wedding dress bod?" he asks. "Something like that," she answers. In the reunion, Cole says he regrets going on the show, before bursting into tears. "I said some things I'd never say and watching it destroyed me," he admits. Cole, "I don't regret you at all. You really did teach me so much about myself," Zanab tells him. Cole tearfully adds to his ex, "I love you and that's why I couldn't reach out to you because I didn't understand our wedding day. It didn't make sense to me in any way. That's why I never texted you. I was like, I am going to go bury myself in work and just not ever date anyone again because that was hell. And then I watch it and I am like, yeah, I am a dumbass. What was I saying? I don't even know the context. It doesn't matter what the context is and I am really sorry. So I understand where you're coming from now." As for where she is now, Zanab tells ET she's single, adding, "The DMs are open." Matt and Colleen, after several attempts to run away, on Matt's part, the pair finally made it to the altar, and it really felt like they could go either way. But they ultimately both said "I do." Going up to the day, we still didn't know what we were gonna do, Matt tells ET. "We knew we were in love, but we didn't know if we should really do it or if we should keep dating and all this stuff, but when I saw her walking down the aisle, I knew. All the good memories came, and it was just like, I can't let this woman pass. I know I love this girl. I know that we do have significant potential here. I can't let this pass," and then we said yes, and we've grown since then. During the reunion, Colleen describes their marriage as really good, but the pair also reveals that they have an unusual living situation in that they haven't officially moved in together yet. "We got married in an unorthodox way, so we're doing marriage in an unorthodox way," Colleen shares. They say that logistics and money have kept them from taking the plunge, but that they spend every day together and fully intend on moving in together soon. "We have a plan. In a couple months we made sure our leases line up and we are going to move in together," Colleen shares. "I can't wait to move in with him. I can't wait and I am going to spend the rest of my life with him. I am content. We are content. We're on the same page with how we're doing things. SK and Raven in perhaps the most shocking altar moment of the season. SK says no to his bride even as his mother is mouthing the words "I do" in the congregation. It really came down to, do I want to do this to please all these people? Or do I want to do this for my life at this very moment? SK says at the reunion, adding that he didn't make a decision until he was in the moment. It felt like a movie. He literally took, like 5 minutes to say, "I do not." It felt fake, like, this is literally what you see in movies, Raven adds, noting that she wasn't blindsided necessarily, but rather unprepared and a little shocked. But it turns out, the two are still together and making it work long distance. Our communication, I think I can speak for both of us, we've never been on this level in any other relationship, Raven says. Every time I feel like we reach a new level. Nothing's perfect, but we've grown so much from this experiment. First of all, from what we went through, from being apart. It makes it so much better when we're together. Of course, I'd prefer to be with him every day, but we've grown so much from it and it's really beautiful to do that. She adds that they waited to have sex until after their wedding, but jokes of the time before the wedding, you got a taste test. Raven also told ET of her life with SK outside of the pods, saying, "I fell in love with him more every day, just feeling like, okay, I can really live this life forever with this man. So after doing that for however long we did it up until the wedding, I was ready to go. It really reassured me that we could start from really, really low and build our relationship into something that I thought was really beautiful." Bartise and Nancy. Not all altar rejections turned into happily ever afters, though. After Bartise said no to Nancy at the altar, prompting an almost brawl between the groom and Nancy's protective family, the exes were still clearly raw from the experience. "I was completely heartbroken, shattered, like, my heart was put in a blender and then served to my audience," Nancy told ET. "That's what I felt in that moment. So it took me a while to just figure out how do I repair this heart that I have, this love that I have for a person who didn't choose me. I think my mentality at first was, he didn't choose me. He gets to lose me, right? Just kind of sticking to focusing on myself and just healing from a heartbreak. After some time, we did reconnect and we did rehash what happened the day of the wedding." Bartise told ET that when he reconnected with Nancy after the wedding, she made it clear she didn't want anything to do with me, adding, "She called it black and white. We're done here," which I respected. For Nancy, rewatching their love story play out further solidified that they weren't meant to be. Honestly, I think for me it wasn't until I recently saw the entire season to recognize some of the things that. Watching it back, not only did I watch myself, but I was watching it from the point of view of Bartise, she explained to ET. "I was watching it from the point of view of our relationship. I was watching my friends and what they were saying. So yeah, I think it was just a matter of figuring out, what does this after the altar look like for us?" Bartise, however, says in the reunion that he watched it back and found himself wishing he'd given a different answer. "Watching it back I was rooting for us," he says. "I was watching it, knowing what I say, I was still like, say it, say I do, which is crazy to think." Nancy gets very emotional hearing this, tearing up before saying, "I said it so many times, I really did love you so much. And I think it was the promise that you made to me that you would not blindside me. That we would have honest conversations and literally you did the complete opposite," before adding, "Love is blindsided for me." The other women also defend Nancy against Bartise, claiming to have seen him with another woman shortly after his failed wedding. The next day after the wedding, he had a girl, Alexa claims. Nancy elaborates that she saw images and videos on social media of her ex with a tall blonde in the days following their wedding. Yes, there was a blonde girl with me. That night, nothing happened. Something eventually happened on July 4th on a boat party, Bartis admits. There's a lot of drinking and there's a lot of coping that I am doing. If I don't cope the right way, to be honest, I don't think my sex life is anybody's business here. Especially after how we decided to cut ties. The timing of it, I can see being wrong and I am sorry for that, but I don't feel comfortable talking about my sex life here. Tragically, Andrew didn't make a cameo to discuss the viral moment after his rejected proposal to Nancy where he put eye drops in his eyes, pretending to cry. Shout out to Andrew, who did not get on the plane, decided not to come. Smart man, co-host Vanessa Lachey quips in the reunion. We did invite Andrew. He chose not to come. Season 3 of Love is Blind is streaming on Netflix. Love is Blind's Nick Lachey shares favorite and most surprising couples of Season 3, exclusive. This video is unavailable because we were unable to load a message from our sponsors. If you are using ad blocking software, please disable it and reload the page.